So, I've been pretty immersed in my own environment lately. I decided to take the plunge and try to learn as much as I could about memory and how, I guess by memory, I mean by like how data is stored inside of like devices and stuff. Like, just imagine your brain, as a human being, we think that's where all of our data is for the most part. We know it's in our DNA also, it's built to us, but when we utilize ourselves, we believe it comes from the brain. And so the brain has a function and it works always. And pretend what I'm saying and what you're seeing right now is data, and that data is passing from me to you, and now you can store that data. And does that data replace other data? Does it push it? Does it pull it? Does it move it around? Do you forget something to hear this and to have the space and your capacity to process this? It's overwhelming. I believe that in the locksmith trade, most people are too close-minded. They see like these, like this is a Type 2, I believe, Chrysler SCIM module. These are Chrysler Scream modules, Pacifica, and a Caravan. And I just think that locksmiths get too focused on just the key data. Like, they just want to read this and program a key or get the pin code and put it back together and forget about it. We're done. But to me, I think there's more to it. I'm mostly self-taught, meaning, I don't know if I've already said this, but I've never gone to school for this stuff. I've never gone to college. I have never worked for another person who was better at this than I, because I've never worked for any locksmith or anybody who does anything like this in my career, in my life. It's just something I decided I wanted to learn about, so I started to. But I believe locksmiths just, they're like, oh, that's it, that's all we need to worry about. But I wonder, like, there's so much more to it. Like, that's just one component of a board, and this is just one module out of a system. And I want to know how everything works together, how and why, and I want to know what those pins do. I mean, I have an idea, but I want to know. And I want to know exactly how this works. There's a copper coil, and it's fed through here. And there's connections that are met on, from here. It meets up right here to the board, and so it can pull and push information. And by push, I mean, if you imagine this was plugged into a car and we had the pin code, this would be sitting over the ignition cylinder, and we could take a key and turn it, and one that's not programmed, and we can use a OBD scan tool to program that key in. And that is possible because this programs the key. It pushes data into the blank transponder. It interfaces with that data that's stored in that transponder. The transponder must identify as a certain type. Therefore, there is data already present. There must be parameters met in order for it to accept the key. So first it must be able to acknowledge it, and the key must be able to say, hi, I'm this. You know what I mean? And so I want to know how all that's achieved, because like if this can program a key from the car using the module, this that's stored inside of, or using the EEPROM device inside the module, I mean, I can program it directly right here. I can put a clip on it, you know, bam, and I'll interface with the binary file, and I'll use my VVDI2 to program in the transponder, and the VVDI2 takes the car's information, that binary file, and it takes the transponder's information and it marries them, and it embeds the data, and then it says, now take this new file and put it onto here. And then we put everything back together and plug it in and the car will start. Well, that's the same damn thing as if we did it through the OBD port and we had the pin code. This would do the job for us. All that, all this, and this and that is achieved with the password. Now we can easily get that, but I'm just saying, shouldn't we still be able to use the data from this EEPROM to power this up if we knew how, and to program in a transponder with just this? It's got to be possible. It's got to be possible. There's got to be an algorithm, and I believe the algorithm is associated with the VIN, because whenever a blank transponder is put into one of these, it becomes crypto and it's locked. And I believe crypto corresponds with the VIN number, because you can delete the key and re-add it only if it is being re-added into the same vehicle that it was once programmed into. So if you take one locked key and try to program it into another car, it will decline it. And there's only one explanation, and at least in my opinion, and that is because every car is basically the same. Every part in this box is basically the same, except they identify as an individual because of the VIN number, the vehicle identification number. So I believe that is used in some kind of algorithm to disperse transponder data and then embed seed data into the transponder, and it will all correlate to equal one key for one vehicle. So I've been pretty obsessed with this shit. I've been pretty obsessed. I've been documenting different boards, different routes to achieve different goals, and I've got a big ol' pile of new things, and I'm gonna open them real quick. I've been accidentally buying global BCMs, and it's been pissing me off, but luckily this is not one of them. I'll show you what a global looks like. This is a global, pardon me, I'm from Missouri and I speak lazy English. They're open from the sides and also like all the way around. Like if this were a ball, it would be the circumference, but it's the perimeter since it's a rectangle. The ones that are easier to read, the 24C16s, open from just the top or the socket side. Post office, at least locally, gets so pissed whenever I do this. Like I use their free stuff for packaging. Gosh, they get mad. Hey, hey. This is a Toyota. I don't know if this is a good buy or a bad buy. I think I ordered the wrong year. some more of that free packaging. Nissan BCM. It's a very interesting sticker. It says do not remove with polish. That's interesting. I will be selling these after I'm done practicing. What? Oh, hey. Shout out. Thank you, sir. I won't name you by name, but thank you. I got a spider crawling on my back. Love it. Thank you so much. I like the round corners on your card. It's gonna go in my card pile. This will be fun. This is a wind module. I'm gonna have some fun with this one. This is to an 05 Malibu. And I actually couldn't help a young lady last week because her car wouldn't program under normal conditions, and I was not mechanically inclined enough to figure it out. But what my plans curtail mostly in the future is a deeper understanding of where data is located and what data is stored in which areas and how to change it and modify it and so much more. And I guess just real quick I can try to show this little quick method of my new caliper or micrometer. Ooh, thank you. Okay, hold on. Okay, that's probably gonna fall. Take this BCM. Pull it up right there, fold it, start to boogie these out, create the space right here, get that middle one out, and the last one, and she's free. Man, the writing on this EEPROM is beautiful. You can see that from a mile away. So, I forget which setting it is. It's like 80 something. Cheap. 88, that's Caravan, I know that one. 87, 3 key. I think it's 86. No? Fiat. 84. Chevy Cruze. Okay, so brown to number 1. Oops. Okay. There's the pin code. See how easy that is? Then we can use a programmer just to go pow. And also, when it read that pin code, it should have saved the entire bin file to its memory. And that memory is called restore memory. That's because if there's accidentally corruption during that, or something happens, we have a backup file. And I can also load that file to my computers. Yeah, well, that's it. It's gonna be fun.